Good evening, guys. Today's lecture is on noise pollution and indoor air pollution. First, we have to know the difference between noise and sound. Noise means the unwanted or undesirable sound. Um, Not all sounds are noise because one person may feel some sounds as music, but others as noise. So, this sound can be measured in terms of decimals, and it is not a substance because when it accumulates in our environment it becomes a very serious problem like other pollutants called noise pollution. We have two types of noise pollution. One is indoor and the second one is outdoor. Noise which is from factories, vehicles playing, loudspeakers and outdoor are considered as outdoor noise pollutions, but whereas the sounds from our loudly playing radios, music systems, and other electronic gadgets in the house is considered as indoor noise pollution. And as per the environmental protection rule, the permitted noise level is 125 decibels. And this chart shows the permitted decimal levels of our daily common sounds like our TV, radios, and our office or our some traffic noise or train or from aircraft. Likewise, there are different decimal levels for different types of sounds. Next, we'll see the effect of noise pollution on physical health because excess noise can cause physical damage to the ear, and the temporary or permanent hearing loss is known as temporary threshold shift. And this temporary threshold effect noticed at only between 80 to 130 decimal levels, and these types of peoples can't able to hear some weaker sounds, means some lower sounds. And permanent loss of hearing or hearing abilities are is known as noise induced permanent threshold shift, and this is noticed at more than 105 decimal levels. This will rupture our human eardrums, and also it affects the human mental health by causing emotional and psychological effects like irritability, anxiety, and stress called some depressions, etc. Moreover, it creates a lack of concentration on something and a mental fatigue due to noise. And this is the standard safe limit time limit at different various noise levels, and beyond these levels like or continuous exposure over a period of time will leads to hearing loss. And second thing is permitted noise levels at different zones like silent zone, residential, commercial and industrial zones at different time. And next we'll see the source and control measures of noise pollution. As I said earlier, it is mainly from loudspeakers, generators, construction works, air conditioners, fans, industrial noise, transportations, etc. And then how to control these type of noise pollution means there are four fundamental methods or ways to control this noise pollution. First one is to reduce the noise from at the point of a source, uh, and second thing is block the path of noise travel or by increasing the path length of noise. Then finally by protect the recipient will reduce the effect or impact of noise pollution. All among that, the reduce the source point is more effective than other method of control. And next thing is indoor air pollutants. These refers the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of air in homes, buildings, or other commercial industries and institutions, etc. This can be effectively handled by making because of airtight housing or constructing or by reducing ventilation, etc. In some developing countries, most of the people using traditional fuel burnings for their cooking that will create the large amount of smoke that cause severe air pollution. In urban areas, the some air pollution increased by constructing the tightly sealed buildings, use of synthetic materials for building and furnishing their buildings, and this use of chemical products, pesticides to household care products also increases the air pollution. And next one is control measures of these indoor air pollutants. There are three basic strategies to control these indoor air pollution. First one is source control. This is the most effective way to control the air pollution. and also to improve the indoor air quality to eliminate individual source of pollution or to reduce their emission. Second thing is ventilation improvement. This approach will helps to reduce the concentration of indoor air pollutants like our exhaust fans, which helps to remove contaminants directly from the house. Third thing is air cleaners. This is very effective and this will helps to remove particles and other materials in the indoor air, and this helps to remove particles by drying the air from the indoor, and it passes through the cleanser unfiltering element that removes the particulate matters and air fresh cleaned. And this is of many types. For particle removal we have mechanical and electronic air filters, and also for gaseous particles also pollutants also we have gas phase air filters, which is available in the market, and some pollutants destructors also available that can use the ultraviolet light technology to destroy the pollutants in the atmosphere or in the indoor air. That has many types, one like UVGI cleaners for destroying biological pollutants, and the PCO cleaners for gaseous pollutants in the indoor air, ozone generators which helps to control pollutants so from the source itself. Thank you.